podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very special episode ready for y'all with some special guests.
Tonight the ladies are not talking too much.
It's all about the men. So it's 4 girls in a mic and 2 gentlemen.
Yes.
It's actually a family affair today.
And Miss Lady Andy is present.
So we'll introduce both of our guests. First, we have Diamond FX.
Effects.
Bra,
Hello,
bra.
ladies. How are you doing today?
We're great. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for inviting me.
And we have Voyce.
Who, by the way, begged us to come back.
No, I didn't.
How good is it?
I was at home like, nah, man. No.
No, we got messages to prove
I
it.
wanted.
we do.
I had so much fun the first time, and I want to have a sophomore experience. So
Yes.
Are you
Guess I'm
ready?
back.
We
Are
wanted
you
you
ready
back.
though? Because this time, it's all about you.
I got my hair did and everything.
So
So,
you guys are
But
under
you guys
the,
can't see
you
them.
can't see.
I
I
can
don't know if
attest
it's
to
under
that,
the
though.
spotlight or microscope.
Both.
Yeah.
I guess that all
Spotlight.
depends on the questions.
That's you know what? You got a point there, Diamond.
Pretty much.
You got a point, but I know, Diamond, you're going to keep it real, right? Because those are the rules.
Well, first of all, I have one
Wow.
question. Just to make life easy for everyone. Is it hard to talk to women, frankly? For you, like guys, do you feel it's hard to speak your truth out to women in a room like this?
No, I
Oh,
mean
like this? No.
to women in general and in a room like this.
Yeah.
Okay.
In-
Okay.
Well, first
I'll
part of the
break-
question.
I'll break it down.
Okay.
Both questions. In a room like this, when it's just casual, it's your friends, family, like we are here, is it easier for you guys to open up?
I don't think it changes whether or not it's like a room like this or outside. I think as long as you're confident in yourself with who you are, then talking to people doesn't matter. I mean, if you're yourself and you're true to who you are, then it doesn't matter if it's a girl or a pretty girl or this or that. You're just being yourself.
Really?
I think it always boils down to who you are and
I
you
ain't
being
telling
comfortable.
them nothing.
That's it.
I
You
ain't
see?
telling them nothing.
It's
I
different.
try to like keep it real general, especially if it's something that I don't know.
Is that a bro
girl I
code?
don't know.
Wait a minute, is that
Yeah,
bro
we try
code?
to keep it like we try to keep as much as we can of ourselves to ourselves.
Why?
Why?
Why that?
Why? Because one, it depends. Dynamics is different, but once you're in a relationship, it changes everything.
Oh.
Well,
It gets,
well,
it
what
gets
changes?
intense real fast.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
you don't you talk, you tell, especially if you're with the person, you live with the person, the person's
Yeah.
always in your business. You never really get any space to yourself, and then that kind of becomes an issue,
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
depending on who
Well,
you're
I
dealing
mean, I'm sorry.
That
Maybe I'm not
happened
following.
fast.
But does it become an issue to speak to other women? Or...
Well, it's
inside-
actually easier sometimes to speak to other women,
Oh, okay, I understand.
right?
Okay.
Because they just want to have fun most times, and they don't really want to know all your personal business, especially if you're meeting them in a club or in a mall or it doesn't go to, so how much you make,
Gotcha.
where you
Or-
work at, right away. You know what I mean? You have time to what kind of coffee you like. You could be casual with it until it's the time. But that depends on the women. Some women just like to cut to the chase.
Some women just
Right?
like to cut to the
Some
chase.
women like to just get to the fact. Like, could you do something for me or not?
And you know what? Yeah. I
But
mean,
that-
Keep it real.
But I
keep it real.
that's a good question.
Yeah.
Once you're in a relationship though, right? Does it make it more difficult now to talk to your female friends?
For sure.
For sure. It makes it.
Occupied.
Yeah.
You have no time for nothing else.
You have no time.
Come on, especially if you're working and you know what I mean. You got family, you got other things going on. Like, jeez, you gotta actually book an appointment to see your friends.
No, that's true. But you were talking about dynamics. Does that change?
Depends, depending on who you're. It really depends on who the other individual you're.
It depends
really,
if
because
your
everybody's
girl
different.
approves of the
But
girl.
see, that's why that's why personally I think it's good to be open with who you are with the person right away, because that way, if the person is not in sync with who you are, you immediately you weed out the fact that you're not compatible.
I agree.
And I think that if you're open with the person right from the get-go, then when you're in your relationship, I think it removes the need for there to be secrets and things to be uncomfortable, because you already know who you are. And I think personally, for example, I mean, in the things I do, I have to interact with women, or people in general all the time. So if I'm going to be with someone, they'll have to be someone that understands that and respects that. And I'll only be able to meet someone like that if I'm open to that with them from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like if I bring that up after we're in a relationship, then I can see it can be a problem. But if you're honest from the beginning, saying this is my life, this is what it's like, then if it works, then it goes forward. If it doesn't, then
How do you guys handle that? Because you're both artists, so you have to deal with female fans, right? So
Yeah, it's the
how
politics.
do you both deal with that?
It's
Politics.
the politics.
I'll let
It's the
you
beauty.
you can
I'm obliged to deal with these ladies. Right?
I'm obliged.
It's part of my job.
Well, it's part of my job. Okay, so
part of my job.
how do you deal with that? Because
like he said, you got to be honest. You can't really have any secrets. If you have a partner, you got to tell them like, this is what I do.
Tell your fans or tell your women?
Oh, my fans, I don't tell them nothing. They're
That's
my
what I'm asking.
fans. No, my fans, I ain't telling them much. I'm just keeping music.
If y'all could see their faces, pretty funny.
No.
What about
No.
you, Voice?
Okay, what's the question?
Well, what about you, like in your fans? So
Your female fans.
your female fans.
How do you handle that?
Do they know you have a girlfriend?
I don't have a girlfriend.
So you're good.
Oh, so
That's my
different.
point. He's good.
I'm
He's good.
single.
I'm
By the
ready
way,
to
you just
mingle.
said-
No, but I don't know.
God.
The female fans, male fans, for me, it's never really about the fact that they're male or female. It's
yeah.
about the fact that they're fans and they're connecting with my music in some way, shape, or form. So I don't care what gender they are. I've never really cared about that. It doesn't change how I'll interact with them.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. That's awesome because
Thanks.
people usually change when,
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, when you're around a man or a woman, it switches. But good
Hey.
for you.
No, because I'm the kind of person, like, when I do a show, I like to just keep to myself. I'm going to go perform, like, listen, I'm going to go perform. You can talk to me now, but I'm going to be like, no, just not now.
Yeah, you're in like a zone.
Have my hood on, like, no.
Okay, you get in the zone.
I'm Frodo right
Okay.
now. Leave me alone.
He's Frodo.
So essentially, you need someone if you're in a relationship with someone, you prefer someone who's not going to be insecure or intimidated by
Right.
that.
Just won't work.
Who is like, but
No.
what about on the other side?
In what sense?
What if your woman was like that?
That's why I have to set the precedence about who you are, because then the person themselves will be honest with who they are. And like I said, if it just isn't gonna work, you'll know right off the bat. But I mean, personally, I would want to be with someone that is ambitious and has their dreams, and if that dream means that they have to be in front of fans all the time, and those fans happen to be men, and those men have a thing
Happen
for
to
her.
like them.
I know that.
It's all part of the business.
Yeah, and I know that when she comes home, I'm single right now, but I know when
Hopefully,
she,
when she comes home,
when
it's
she
to him.
eventually comes home and I have a girlfriend at some point in my
Yeah.
life, that she'll come home to me, and and I'll be that. So that you disconnect both worlds.
So you basically.
But it's not tempting.
Huh?
It's not tempting.
I don't know.
He's looking at him right
I
now.
don't. I'm
You're single, bro. Speak your truth.
No, I'm not just saying this because I'm trying to be like appealing to the females, but like no, it's the truth. I'm the kind of person that once I'm with someone, it's really about that person, and like it's beyond just it's in anything in general.
It's beyond just music.
Yeah, if I'm invested into it.
It's a
That's
bond.
great.
It's a bond.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if I understand correctly, right now you're invested in your music. That's where your focus is, and you're open to receiving. But if you had a woman, it doesn't mean that she would automatically switch to be your focus. But if she did, you would dedicate your focus there.
See, I think the biggest mistake people make is they make this mistake. They look for someone to complete them and not compliment them. Someone should compliment you. The second you say someone completes you, you screwed up, because it means that you're dependent on that person for everything. It's like they're your heir. And then
Yeah, because
You can't live without
you
them.
can't live without them,
Dependent,
and you
yeah,
put
exactly.
pressure on that person.
And you
Yeah.
expect them
You
to make
expect-
you happy.
Yeah, that's not how it
Yeah.
works. If you can't find happiness in yourself, you won't find it in anything.
Right.
I like this.
Amen to that, bro.
Right.
So
How's it going so far, ladies?
it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
Any
So
other
far, so
questions?
good.
We have time for questions.
I
Don't worry.
Let's just get into it. Okay, so
whatever.
we're doing an episode about men.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean, we hear often. You see someone, you're like, oh, that's a real woman, or that's a real man, and everyone has a subjective version of what that is. First of all, Diamond, according to you, what makes a man a real man?
Well, from my experience, real men take care of their kids. First of all, whether it's through whatever avenues they have to do it, but at the end of the day, they're there for their kids. Real men take care of their family, which means real men have to bring income in the house one way or another. Like I said, doesn't matter how they do it as long as they do it. And real men are usually real to themselves. So there's not really a lot of beating around the bush. There's not really a lot of trying to fit into what other people think or like. I mean, because at the end of the day, I pay my own bills, so I don't really give a fuck what anybody thinks about me, as per se. But I do care what my wife and I do care what my kids think about me. A real man would have to start with that. I've never had a father, so for me to be like that it's something in itself. But like I said, I've had a lot of experiences with a lot of, women, not so womanly like women. And I just learned through my experience how a man is supposed to be.
So basically, you'd say being a man is about taking responsibility.
All about taking responsibility.
Yeah, you have to own your
own
shit.
up. You make
That's
mistakes.
it.
You
have to show
man
up.
Dog,
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of, but it's not easy. It's not easy because a lot of men don't have fathers, so they don't even really know how to be men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I was just with somebody the other day, a woman, my son's daycare teacher, and I know her son, and she's like, my son's stuck at home. He has 3 degrees, and he has a girl that won't let him go out and do anything. He has 3 degrees, and he doesn't do nothing but stay home. So it's like, even the role of a man it's all up in the air right now.
Do you feel pressure? As a man?
There's a lot of pressure, People want me to be soft. People want me to wear tight clothes. People want me to, go get my hands, nails. That's what it is. The men nowadays are pretty much soft.
I agree.
Not meaning that they're not men, but, they're, I guess you call it being more in tune to your feminine side.
Soft. So essentially, you are someone who does not really naturally inclined to feeling your feminine side. You're just someone
I'm
who's
very, very inclined. I was raised with my mother, single mother. I have sisters. I'm very in tune with that. But I know who I am, and I know the kind of man that I want to be, and I know the kind of man that I want my son to be. And he's not going to be wearing no tight pants with no baggy pants. It's just not going to happen.
All right.
Okay. Would you say you're an alpha male?
Yep.
Whoa. All right.
Okay, wait. Before we get into the alpha stuff,
I want to.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I wanted to know, Steven.
Yes.
What in your mind, in your opinion, what makes a man a real man?
I don't like that statement, period, because the idea of a person being a real man means that a man and woman have to be intrinsically different. And I think what makes a person is just taking ownership of themselves. Whether that you're a man or woman, I don't care. Like my mom, my mom, for the most part took care of us. She had to do jobs that she didn't want to do. She had to sacrifice a lot. That was her stepping up to being a real person. So, and if by the definition of a real quote unquote man, she became a real quote unquote man. So I don't like that expression because it just fits everything to a box. A man is this, a woman is this. You know what? Be you. Be who you are, and that's it. So what makes a real person? Someone that accepts themselves for who they are, takes ownership of themselves, is responsible for who they are, acknowledges everyone else, and respects that. That for me is a real person. So for me, there's no such thing as a real man or a real woman. You step up to the role you're given and you just run with it.
Boom.
I love how you can be in a room and you have very, very different opinions now about life, and you could be very passionate about them. And people now, one thing I like about men and women, but I do like seeing that in men, is that they can speak their own truth with another man in the room, even if it's different, and not need to
there's no compete.
I've noticed that a lot, even when they become more.
But we're special though. That's why we're here.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's right.
But you know what? You both had different opinions on that, but you did have one common denominator: is know yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think because you're both comfortable with who you are and know yourselves, you could sit in a room with another man and not compete and have different points of view and feel respectful and confident, right?
Yeah, because that's something I found interesting, is that there was a belief for the longest time that 2 alpha males most likely can't be in the same room.
That's not true.
That's not true. All my friends are basically not all.
And so I find that it makes it makes some people issue for put a negative connotation on
on
alpha
that,
man.
that
Alpha man.
concept, exactly.
What do you think an alpha male is? If you are one, if you're not one, what do you think that is?
What is an alpha male? Well, you said right away you
Well,
were
I just
Diamond.
think an alpha male is basically somebody who doesn't really bend over too easy. You know, it's usually their way or the highway. I mean, there's always room for compromise, and obviously, if you're in a relationship, you know, you're gonna meet middle ground somewhere. But for the most of it, I usually do my thing. I just prefer to do it my way. Like I'll take feedback and I'll soak it all in, but.
Could I say from a
I'm a lion in the jungle. So far as
from a woman's standpoint, Diamond's like my brother. He's my brother. You all that don't know.
We go way back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you go
we
way
go
back.
Way back.
Yeah. And he's family to me. So as a woman, having a brother, to me, that's an alpha male, it also makes me feel protected.
Okay.
There's something about that. You know, he's always there. He's very protective, and he shows up. You know what I mean? Like he's there. When it counts, he's there, and it's always been like that. So I think from a woman's standpoint, that's not in a relationship. Even as a brotherly, sisterly relationship, I think that's, I don't know, that it feels good for a woman to have that.
Well, I'm just
Because Diamond's been my rock for years, you know, and I feel protected. I don't know.
That's
That's
awesome.
from a standpoint of a female standpoint.
I'm just wondering though, what exactly is the difference between an alpha male and a beta male? Like, what is that? What makes a beta male? Is that even a thing? Betas?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
apparently.
What, like beta
something
males
out
don't,
there surfing. It's out there.
right?
It's out
Like,
there.
do you?
What do you think about that?
I think there's a lot of beta men out there right now.
But what does that mean?
It's like
I won't say nothing on the matter.
Please do, because I don't know how to break it down. I'm trying to see.
Well, what I find that's on the flip
Soft.
side
No.
is that if
More
a
soft.
beta male is, like you just said, worse, use the word worse. So it's a negative connotation. If there's a negative connotation attached to a beta male, then outside of an alpha male, what other kind of male is appropriate?
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's a very good question.
Because
I don't know. I can only tell you. I can only deal with, like, you know. I don't.
Yeah,
But
that's
that's
but that's
I
the
can only
question.
be me and
For
tell you,
sure.
like, yo, like,
We're all here. I'm wondering too. Like, I don't.
like.
Because I wonder about that. I feel like there's a lot of men who are trying to fit
It's like, okay.
into an alpha male, but they're not.
Can I give you, like, kind
because
of like
they
a-
feel that they're going to be ridiculed for it.
Okay, it's like, okay, I'm trying to be, okay, I have a friend, okay? Now, as much as me and this guy, we grew up together, we're from the same neighborhood, we had similar experiences, right? Like, I'm a guy, okay, I don't know about the other guys, but I'm a guy, I need a lot of sex. So if I'm in a relationship with a girl, I can't have sex twice a week. It just ain't going to happen.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
Okay.
Amen, brother.
I can't do it straight up.
Okay.
But my friend, like, I'm like, bro, so yeah, man, you go home, you know, after this drink, go get some pussy, like, you know. And he's like, yeah, well. I'm like, you married this girl?
Okay, so less testosterone. Can we
Okay,
agree with
so-
that?
So
that
yeah,
was-
so I don't know. I'm just like, and he's not happy, or else he wouldn't be telling me about it as his homie. Like, yo, bro, like, you know, like, I'm like, I don't know, like, maybe you should go to the sex store, get some toys, like, try to see what the girl likes. Like, maybe you're doing something, not doing something she likes, and
So
she's
too
not
much
open to you.
So
because,
too much estrogen is what you're saying, not enough testosterone.
Or maybe
Yes.
just a lower level.
Yeah, lower level. I don't know. Like,
And this is why I like alpha men.
guys live,
but-
but guys live like that. They get married and they're in relationships and they're going, like, they're at work, like, looking at other girls, like, I wonder if she has sex 4 times a day, like, and you can only have it twice a week.
But I feel like people.
That's
people,
horrible. Why would you even commit to a relationship
Okay,
like
wait,
that?
people
okay,
do
if
that.
I understood correctly,
For real.
People
Like,
do
if
that,
a woman is like that, like, I had a girl, she was like a sex fanatic. I had sex with her, I would leave, she would call somebody else.
Whoa.
He would leave, she would call somebody else.
No, she had a problem.
No, I'm serious. She
I
had
don't know if that's
seriously had a
healthy.
problem.
No, but she had
She
a
wasn't healthy.
Okay,
It
I'm
wasn't,
like, that's
right.
not.
But I had to find out because I'm like, yo, something's up with it. And I one time we had an experience. I left. I went across the street to the restaurant. I was like, yo, you know, follow my vibes. Like, yo, let me check out what's going on. Order some breakfast. But I'm watching the door to see, like, okay, like, why is she trying to get rid of me so fast?
Because the other guy's waiting to come in.
Another guy's coming in.
Oh shit, that's not.
You know what I mean?
balanced at all.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's girls out there too that cannot be with a guy that can only, give them sex twice a week. They need it 10 times.
But
And
okay,
if they don't get it from that guy, they're gonna go get it from the other
That's
guy.
a bad, but to me, in that situation, they're just not
No, I'm not
matching
saying
up with-
girls. I'm just saying that
but
specific
those people, they're just
hot
not
cake?
matching with the right person. I feel like
I don't know
in that
about that
case,
one.
they need some sexual healing.
No.
Watch
Let me
listen
ask
to
you,
our
how-
other
I don't
episodes.
agree with that
How
one.
did you
Please
deal with that?
find
How
yourself
did I agree
somebody
with
who wants to
How did I
have
do
sex
it?
with you.
Oh, it was
10
great. I
times.
just basically, confronted the girl, told her that she's an info, and she told me straight, I'm an info. No matter if I have sex with you, him, if I have group, she's gonna have sex with somebody else. That's how she is. She's still like that.
Okay.
okay.
Alright.
That is
Can I-
sex addiction.
So-
I just
Yeah, she was like
that.
addicted to sex, but there's like people out there like that. You seen what's it called? 50 Shades of Grey. What do you think that's all about? People addicted to sex. What kind of sex? If they want to get tied up, beat up. You want me to, lay flowers down on the floor before we do it. However you want to break it down, but that's what it is. People are addicted to sex.
Woo.
Okay.
I don't know.
Bad.
It's every time we try.
We
Try to
somehow
be aware of
always
back
go
up.
back.
I'm like, are you alpha or beta? People are
Sex.
addicted to sex.
We can't help it,
I
though.
was on that
Sex
website.
self, man.
I was
We
on
can't
that
help it,
website,
sorry.
and I was looking at
Not
it because we
sorry.
were working, and I was looking at the website page after page, and we would have conversations about find yourself, and I'd be like, how is it possible that every episode we sort of are like
We deviate back
into
to sex.
sexuality?
And it
Well,
takes
check
10
it out.
seconds.
Because
Tell
we're
us
sexual
about it.
beings. We're
I
sexual
can tell
It
you.
is www.letstalkaboutitpodcast.com because I want to know what it is about that. Let us know.
Yeah.
Thank you
He
very
was
much.
gonna. He was gonna.
Shameless.
We're
plug, I don't
sexual
care.
creatures.
We're sexual creatures.
We're
I don't
sexual
know how
creatures.
it happened, we don't want to get into any real details, but I know I'm attracted to females. And I know the reason I'm attracted to females because I like her so much that she is going to have my offspring. Because I want to be with her for as long as I can. And 18 years sounds like a pretty good contract.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Good for you.
Alright.
Good for
I'm
you.
just saying.
Love and light. My
Alright.
goodness. But okay,
I
so
don't know.
I'm
all
sorry.
the other-
I have a question because before we deviate from the alpha beta thing
Into
again.
sex
Go into more sex.
Okay, so with men and women,
Yeah.
one thing I notice is that depending on who I'm with, I'm either a little more alpha, so I guess I take a bit more charge. I'm a little more domineering. To me, alpha is more like, about taking charge in the situation and being more like present and I feel like alpha and beta
Making
can.
shit happen.
That's it, but I feel like beta people can still
Do that
care
too.
for, be protective and all.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just less. Their energy is less imposing, I guess. I'm just throwing it
Yeah,
out.
That's
you're
part
right.
of
it. You know
That's
Yeah.
I'm sure he'd
It's-
break it down.
It's again the whole alpha beta thing. I don't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
when we group things because
Yeah.
it forces groups. You
Yeah.
can't judge a frog by his ability to fly, right?
Yeah.
Just because a frog can fly doesn't mean the frog's not worth it. The frog has its own
exactly.
It has its
own
own
way of
gusto.
living.
Its
no way of
Exactly,
living.
exactly,
So
exactly.
when we keep saying like alpha means strength,
this, yeah.
and
Beta means
beta
weak.
means weakness. Like a beta person might not be as strong as the alpha person. I'm doing quotation by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But the quote unquote beta person might, be a better strategist, and in a scenario where
Exactly,
like that
exactly.
strategizing would make him win,
Yeah.
he would dominate.
I just have to say that in the animal kingdom, okay, the leader of a pack is gonna be the alpha, okay, and it's not because it's because you need a leader at some point.
It's true.
When you have a pack, somebody needs to lead. If you have a conference, somebody needs to lead the conference. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
So if you have a
And,
relationship, somebody needs to lead that relationship?
I think in certain points,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
I have strong points. My boyfriend has strong
Yeah,
points.
I agree.
And there's okay, I'll just give an example. Certain times, if I'm in a car and my boyfriend's in the car with me, he's gonna be driving. If I'm in the car with anybody else,
You're
I'm
driving
driving.
because you're an alpha. You're an alpha female.
Because
Actually.
because you trust your boyfriend he's gonna be as protected
Yeah.
as for you as he is for himself.
She
so you
trusts
trust
him to lead.
yeah. But that's what I mean in the
Yeah.
sense that like you,
I agree.
I have that power inside of me. But I will
You don't use it all
gladly
the time.
share it with kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know, just kind of pass the ball.
the ball.
And
It's
it's
true.
just something that happens natural. It's for little things like
Yeah,
that.
it's true. Makes
Or
sense.
like, we're going somewhere and it's like, he's gonna read the map. I can read the map.
Exactly.
You know, I can totally do that by myself. I'm fine. But he's gonna be the one reading the map. If we're together, he's gonna be the one doing that.
Yeah, and it happens amongst friends too. Like I sometimes I'm like, okay, girls, this is what's
Let's
happening.
make it happen,
and other times somebody else, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. I like the give and
But
take there.
no, but it's a good dynamic to talk about because it's true. It's interesting what Deanne was saying.
We have both.
Because usually an alpha man will be with an alpha woman. Mm-hmm. So it's something for, usually when she's not with her man, she's the one leading, you know? But then when you're with your man, you'll let him lead. You know, I don't know. In my experience, it's like that.
I just wanted to say. I just wanted to say, as much as I tell you ladies and gentlemen, that I'm an alpha male, I'm not alpha all the time.
That's what I was going to
I got daughters.
That's
If I yell at her, she will trip out.
No, but this is where there's a misconception.
And that's how I had to learn.
Could you clarify, Diamond? Would you agree? Because I think there's a misconception out there that alpha men are not sensitive.
Yes,
that
like
is not
true.
true.
People think we're bullies.
That is not true.
That's
wife beaters banging
that is
everybody
not
up.
true.
Happens.
There's a lot of alpha men they're very sensitive.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean because you're sensitive that you're quote unquote soft or that you can't lead or you can't be strong.
But that's it. But that's what it goes back to what Dee said, which is kind of we have both in us, just like we have both the masculine and the feminine.
Yes,
it's just that people tap more into their masculine than their feminine. I get. You know what? I think that's what alpha is. If we have to. But then go against what you're saying, Stephen, and actually,
come to
classify
a definition.
people.
What I was trying to say about that is that it's the same thing on all sides. Once you put a label on it, then you try to move names to it, or because it's the same thing as you were saying about the beta male. There's a misconception that the beta male has no strength. And I see it in nature sometimes when you're looking or is soft, which is, it's fine if we all have to chip away at our assumptions by meeting something different, and then but it's like birds. If you notice, or that a beta male will not be a leader of a pack under certain circumstances, because birds, there's never only one leader. Have you ever seen a pack of birds flying?
Yeah, they have the substitutes waiting.
Because they're connected, because they listen to each other. They're connected. They're not saying you're this. There's a message sent through, and then one other person takes on the leadership, and then another one. It's a dance, and I feel like it's the same thing with men and women. We assumed for the longest time that women couldn't lead or have that kind of strength, but we're seeing that women do, and so we can now appreciate the different ways men and women decide to show themselves, right? See what happens if you don't label the person as this and experience them, so that we're not making assumptions of how they're going to interact with us.
But it's why I really hate labels, because labels in all their attempted at doing something right create stereotypes. Is the reason why if I go to a club and there's different floors, one is hip hop and one is rock, the bouncer would be like, by the way, the hip hop's on the second floor, and I'm like, dude, what if I wanted to go see the rock? It's like
I feel you.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
I agree.
Absolutely right.
You listen to rock.
Absolutely
rock's
right.
amazing.
I do too.
I goes in. Right? You see me, I scratch, man.
Music, man.
I have these cousins, and they're twins, and one of them is an alpha male. They're twins.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny you said that, because I have a friend.
Yeah.
My friend that I bring to the studio, his sister is his twin.
Okay.
But she's the alpha male.
She's the domineering one.
She's the one that is like, yo, you need to do. I was like, whoa. He's like, yeah.
That's just how it is.
And they have they share even a sickness. I forget what the sickness is, but he has one part and she has the other part.
Yeah.
How's that for connection?
Interesting.
So it's not because it's the woman.
Yeah, so it's not because it's the woman that, he has, I'm
it's an energetic dance, ultimately.
Life is amazing, man.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
It's nice to put on that, I'm a boss hat sometimes. It's nice to put on I'm a bitch today hat. And
sometimes I ain't doing nothing.
Hey, I'm
you
never
got to
bitch.
do it all.
Yes.
But,
I'm a boss at all times.
That's good. And if that works, flavor.
Like Dr. said, it's working for you.
Enjoy the flavor.
What, without now putting labels, how would you define yourselves if you had to describe yourself? How would you describe yourselves?
I would. I
Looking at me though.
I think I'm
You're-
sorry. I think I'm sorry. It was had my
You're
mouth
like,
there. I think I'm very in tune, emotionally with myself, and I'm not afraid to admit that because I think emotions are what make me strong. I also think I'm a strategist. I think things through, and I think 15,000 steps ahead, and that's just the kind of person I am. Am I an alpha male? I don't quote unquote alpha
that's
male.
why I said no
yeah.
type,
No,
labels.
I'm
Labels.
just-
no labels.
You as an individual,
Yeah, I'm
as
just-
a man, you are a man.
Yeah.
That's the only label we'll give you right now. How would you define yourself? So you're just
Just a sensitive person that's as aware of his sensitivities and very artistic, very in tune with my art side. I want whatever's inside of me to be reflected on the outside, which is why I have so many tattoos. Because I want the world to understand what's going on in my mind externally.
he's covered in
We're
tattoos.
music.
people.
You
Yeah,
want them to
musicians.
understand,
Music is
or do
like
you want
that,
them to witness?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both at the same time. Also,
If they
want
can
people-
witness it, hey, more even better.
Yeah, and also maybe help them identify themselves at the same time. Because I feel when people see a person that is so honest with themselves, it makes them want to be honest with themselves as well. So it's
I like that.
to pass on some sort of message.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
I love it. And also, I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. Your Instagram videos that you've been, it is inspiring to see people just do their thing, and you're actually hilarious. And
Who on
One
your
day when you
Instagram,
retire,
bro?
you make
You a comedian?
billions with music.
Yeah.
You need to get into comedy, my friend.
No, he's
Yeah.
already in comedy. That's
You
right.
are hilarious.
He
Thank
is.
you.
Put that
Yeah,
in
what's your
insert in one of the
Instagram?
videos.
Do it.
Yeah.
Say
Oh,
it.
you did. That's
Share your
cool.
Instagram.
Shout out.
What?
Shout out.
Shout out. What's your Instagram?
Last time you were hashtagging yourself all over.
know what I
Feel
mean.
the pain. Okay.
Oh.
Instagram.com/voice music, VOYCE music.
Check it out, y'all.
Oh.
He is funny.
Yes,
He is funny.
he's bound.
I try.
Bound.
Forget his
And how
video.
would you define yourself, Diamond?
I don't know. I'm just like, a human being, really. I just like to keep it as real as possible, with everybody around me. Given time, sometimes, you gotta be a little bit lighter, but
Lighter?
yeah, you can't be heavy.
Okay.
I have a heavy hand in terms of, terminology, how I talk to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have
He's
to
very
kinda,
direct
Yeah, I have to
and
kind of
raw.
tone it down, depending on. But I'm good at that. I learned along the way.
Like you were saying about your daughters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like women, you have to kind of know how to deal with them.
And how do you deal with
You know?
women?
I
Use
accept them
word
for who
deal.
they are.
That's awesome.
That's how
That's
you
what
do
I
it.
do. That's
You
exactly
accept
how I
them for
do.
who they
Yes, because my mother taught me years ago. As long as they can accept me for who I am, which is not always easy.
No.
Right?
Hell,
It's
I
not
can't
always easy.
freaking accept myself for who I am
Exactly,
sometimes.
right?
Like,
So,
let alone somebody
you
else.
try to accept people for who they are. So sometimes people get caught up in themselves, and they tell you one thing, they do another. Mistakes happen. Either you as an individual could choose to accept that mistake and live with them, or go your separate ways. But in the end, it's just about you being you in your realm, in your zone.
Yeah.
That's true.
Making
You're not-
shit happen
yeah.
for you.
I like
And
it.
you're not judgmental. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Don't judge people.
Yeah.
People could do what they want. Let live and let people live and live.
Yeah.
Live
He's
and
also
let
like
live.
But
having
he's good at giving sermons too.
yeah.
Yeah, I had experience.
I just have a different dynamic. So with me, he'll be like, "Girl, you gotta da 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 da. What are you doing?"
And that's what you need
Yeah.
to hear, right?
No,
It's
yeah.
like, okay,
sometimes you gotta
I have a question for both
But
of
he's
you
very
guys.
loving too.
Yes. Love.
ask about me,
There you
man. Ask about me.
but wait a
Call my
second,
baby
wait a
mothers,
second.
man. Call them.
We want to ask
not
about
all-
you.
Call my mother, man. Call my sisters. They're gonna
Tell-
tell you.
tell us
Ask
about
my
what you
friends.
do.
Ask these ladies in the room about me.
Like I don't
we
know.
We want to know. We want to know how, because you were talking about a man takes care of his family, and you're a family man.
Yeah,
and I
you are.
love when I hear that, a man who's proud.
He
of
really
doing
is,
that.
though.
So
Great
what
job,
do
by
you
the way.
do?
I do everything
how
I
you
can,
make-
man.
yeah.
I cook, I clean.
Yeah.
I take my kids to school. I change their diapers. I wake up in the middle of the night if I have to. If I have to walk to, the States. I will.
Although I've known Diamond for almost 20 years of my life, and I've never ever tasted his cooking. Just say.
You guys,
So I don't know
Just
what's
saying.
going on over
At
there.
least tasted mine, though.
Complain to the
Next
complaint.
time I'll bring some food now.
Where can we get? Okay, bring some food and how
He
can
could
we get
cook
our
though. He
hands-
could cook. I know he could cook.
Like
I'm
if we
just
were
saying.
eating your food, wearing what you're wearing right now, what is
This is the
this is the
coalition.
bomb,
This
man.
is what the business is.
that coalition?
This is my little little brand I have going on. I'm trying to thank. Trying to get some investors. It's all about money.
Oh,
It's all about money. At the end of the day, I'm trying to make $1. Holler.
holla.
Got bills to pay. You trying to make $1. But yeah, it's just a little brand.
Yeah.
I do a little bit of music. I have some followers. I have some family for most of it, and
Yeah.
if I could give everybody a few items to sell and make some money off of it,
Right.
it's better than
So you got your grind.
It's better than all those other stereotypes where they look at me and they think I'm a drug dealer, or they think
exactly.
about welfare, or they
That's
think I'm
it.
fucking, all this nonsense.
No.
Ask the popo, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They're gonna pull me over because I got dreads.
Yeah, and on
know.
that note, how do you deal with that as a black male
Yeah.
in a society right now where you are under the microscope, you will be getting judged? How do you deal with that every day? And what's your
My
advice for other black
My
men?
philosophy for myself, I tell my brothers all the time, is out of sight, out of mind. I only really want to, when I'm seen, it's because I want to be seen. I don't go to, I don't know, it's almost, I feel like I'm living in, what I mean? Civil War. It's crazy. I gotta look around all the time. Oh, there's a popo. Watch out for him.
So you feel like you're
All kind of pressure.
under
I feel-
surveillance
I feel,
all the
I
time.
feel like I have to be,
yeah.
I have to be invisible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people
So-
automatically think that you're
I'm tall, I'm black, I'm driving.
Yeah.
I got a white girl.
You're up to no good.
A white woman, I'm up to no good, and maybe there's people out there that are up to no good.
Yeah.
And it works for them, it works. Everybody has to live
the
their life.
danger of those labels,
But
man.
do you
But-
feel that way too, Steven?
Me? I'm constantly facing racist comments from
What?
random people.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, I don't
Like
see
how so?
random.
I don't mind.
Just
Give me an
because,
example, bro.
just because the area I live in, I'll put my hand on my face. Where area I live in, I'm sure if I talked, last time, I went to, I guess the apartment building next to my house, and I just walked in there to go see the doorman because I know him. We were talking, and this elderly white man walked in, and he just looked at us, and he just said, "What is this, nigger town?"
Oh my.
Oh
no. Yeah.
Oh no! You see?
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hey, man,
You see what
oh
I'm
my
saying?
God. Hey, Betty, don't.
Straight
Yeah.
prison. That's what we call it.
Guys
In
are
the,
Yeah, he did that. I've
Straight
had,
prison.
it was it's such a shock.
That is
I think I
unbelievable.
clapped, but I think I literally clapped because it was like
Slow clap.
Wow.
Wow.
Is it nigger town? It must be.
wow.
So I mean,
Snap.
you face that
And,
all.
that, and I just want to ask you, that was right here in Montreal.
Yeah, right here in
Quebec,
Montreal.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause, people say racism don't exist here.
No,
No, it exists
I be hearing
here,
all
too.
kind of stuff. So how come I can't get a job? It pays the same wages as you though. I ain't saying nothing. I got African people with degrees and they can't get a job. They can get a job in a warehouse of telemarketing anytime. You know what I mean? But check, the banks and all the corporations, they usually just have, the average percentage that they need to keep their company open, which is what, 5%?
10%, yeah.
Minority. They keep it
Whatever,
moving,
man. When you know how many black people you have working in your company, know what I mean?
Yeah.
Usually
We're
they
counting them.
usually
One,
in the beginning.
two,
And, they feel
That's
good.
it.
That's it.
That's it.
We're good.
That's it.
We did our quota.
No, that's a coalition.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
What are you guys doing around the water cooler? Well, I had a question for you guys. Earlier you talked about pressure, being a man, and I'm wondering how does that pressure manifest besides everything you mentioned?
I don't personally feel pressure being a man. I think the generation before ours still felt that pressure, and I think they push that pressure downwards. In society, even as kids, because even as kids, if you think about it, you go to the toy section, people buy their daughters the Barbies, and they buy their sons the G.I. Joes. Inadvertently, without even knowing, they are putting pressure on them to be like this. they're not even thinking about it, but they are.
Definitely.
And that's where it
Classic
comes from.
NLP.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. And it comes from because we put everything in a box. A man has to be a certain way. A woman has to be a certain way. There's pressure on both males and females. You know, we can talk all day about males, but I mean, like, there's pressure on females. I'm sure, you know, when you look in magazines.
Oh my God, no, we have mad pressure.
But
No. But the women's pressure, we know. What's your pressure?
Are you affected by the media? Do you see guys and you're like, oh shit,
I need to work out.
Yeah,
you know,
do you feel that ever?
That's a good question.
I personally don't, because I think my personality is just strong enough to be happy with who I am, and success depends on the person and depends on what your idea of success is. And my idea of success is being who I am and being full on in that. And because I'm so adamant in that, I find my success, and people identify success in me because I'm just putting it in your face. I'm like, I'm not like everyone else, but I'm doing this and I'm fucking good at it.
Yeah.
And now world is like,
So you choose.
I choose, exactly.
But
you can ignore me.
But I gotta say something.
Okay.
The pressure is on.
Okay.
Because if you approach any girl and you ain't got no license and no car and no job and you think this is 1990 and you're on the corner slanging, that shit is so played out.
I gotta agree.
I be telling my brothers all the time, bro. That baggy hoodie clothes shit works, but you gotta meet it halfway. You know, that don't work. The pants and the socks.
Yep.
I'm just keeping it real. You know, it's like girls are like, what? Like they're so turned. I see it.
Yes.
I see it.
But you know why?
I'm sitting there in the metro like this.
Turn off.
But can I explain
These
why?
guys
Like,
have no idea what they're doing to themselves.
But that's
No,
the
I
thing.
know
But
what I
it's
mean.
because a guy who doesn't
Wants a scrub.
That's it. It's not just about, okay, the car, whatever. It's what's behind it. Like, a dude who has his shit together, because I noticed that guys, their purpose comes before relationships. That's what they say. Like, for women, we're much more relationship focused. But guys, it's like their purpose. You know, what are you doing?
Nah,
what,
that's not true,
is that,
man. That's another
not
box.
True?
That's another stereotype. Yeah,
Okay, so what is it? Because
saying.
honestly, for me, when I look at men, when a guy has his shit together, it's because he's giving himself the space to go after what he wants. He's more confident about what he does. So a guy with a guy with no job, a guy who's dressing a certain way or whatever, it already you get a vibe that
It's cool,
you're not.
but you're right. But this is
yourself in a
I
way.
gotta say this. I don't mean a guy who's a young teenage kid trying to be cool, wearing baggy pants and his hoodie. I'm talking about an older man
a
who
grown
is
man.
35 to 40 years old.
Hell no.
And I mean, you
Get
know,
your
we
shit
gotta do what we
together.
gotta do.
Get your
But if
shit
you're still
together.
doing the same thing
get
that
your
you were
shit
doing
together.
20 years ago when I was a teenager,
Yeah.
and I see you now and you're still doing the same thing,
There's a problem.
don't get mad at me if I start to shine. Don't hate on me if I start to shine, because I learned from your mistakes.
Grow the fuck
God.
up.
But people will hate
Can I
anyway.
say amen?
But I'm
to
just
that?
saying, it's like,
Oh
because,
yes,
like,
brother,
yo,
yes.
I'm just saying,
No, but
it's
truth, though.
fucked up.
It's like,
No, because really.
Because you know what's messed up now is that I get put in that box sometimes. It annoys the hell out of me.
You're like,
because
wow.
I'm with somebody, or you know, like it could be anything.
Don't judge.
But yo, honestly,
judging me
dudes
because
that I
of what?
used to find attractive, like hot when I was 16, you know, and
Yeah.
now I'm 29, and then I see those dudes, and they're the same
Oh,
as when I
no.
was 16.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
bro.
like, what the
Bro, it's like-
fuck?
You didn't change nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Pull your pants
It's
up
like,
and
yo,
grow
And
up.
sir,
they
seriously.
are still
Yeah, it's
trying to
about time
holler.
So, like I tell
This
my
is
brothers
no-
all the time,
Peace
is
out.
it working for
out.
you? But that's just me.
I knew you. We don't know each other
Oh,
no
God.
more.
That's just me, you know. I could change up. A lot of people, you know, male or female, they can't
Yeah.
change up. You know, they're comfortable where they are and they do what they do.
But we all
and-
change, right? Like
No.
we
Not
all
these
grow.
No, I used to believe that.
No,
It's
but I
true.
mean
I
everybody
used
in this
to
room.
honestly believe that
Okay,
everybody actually wants to change.
But it's not true. Not
But I had to
everyone
learn the
does.
hard way that you can lead them to the water, but you cannot force them to
Yeah.
drink.
No, you
Wow,
can't.
that's true.
True.
It's true. You're right.
Amen
And it's
to that.
shocking. It's shocking
It's
sometimes.
horrible. It's
You meet
fucking-
people 6
'cause,
years later,
like,
you're like, what the hell,
It's
bro?
family
Girl,
too.
No,
I'm
but it-
talking
but-
13.
No, but no.
I'm 25.
But Diamond, you and I talk about
The
this a
specific
lot.
person you're talking about right now.
No, because Diamond
What person?
and I don't talk to a lot of people. Do you
Yeah.
agree, Diamond?
Agreed.
That we used to hang with or we used to be friends with, and the circle's getting so small that it's pretty much you and me now.
Wow.
And
No, it's like, I mean, I just don't associate.
no, it's that
I just can't
it's
do
just
it.
that we'll see people that we still
But-
associate with, but it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
You're
you know,
still doing
but,
the
you know what I
stupid
mean.
shit you were doing 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's time to grow up.
It's time.
Right.
It's time.
It's time to grow up.
But that's my point. Some people, like my man's saying, you know, he wants his whatever inside of him. He wants it to come out.
Yeah.
Not everybody's
Voice
like
was-
that.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
people don't care if they're on, you know, doing.
But that's
their, they
maturity.
Don't care.
But I think that's part of maturity. You know, that's the thing we were talking before about alpha male and beta and all of this. I think at the end of the day, like even us, and I think that you ladies would agree. I think what's attractive to a woman is a man that's balanced. You know, that could take care of himself.
Yes.
That therefore take care of, you know, what he needs to take care of, but take care of himself mainly first
Yeah.
and foremost, right?
Yeah.
And that has the
Well,
confidence.
you have to. If
to
you
ex-
cannot, how could you?
but the confidence is important.
He has
Would
to
you-
trust himself.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
confidence. So you can't express yourself as a female or a man if you don't have the confidence and
Yeah.
you don't
You
know
can,
yourself.
but you know.
Yeah,
It's
but
gonna
it's
be awkward.
bullshit
Might
what's
be a
coming
bit
out.
Yeah.
flaky.
But it's bullshit what's coming out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely. Might be a bit flaky.
No,
Exactly.
it definitely goes both ways. I mean, I've known some girls where, you know, I'll go in the day and do my thing and do a lot of things in the day, and I'll come back and I'll call her and be like, hey, what did you do today? She's like, oh, I stayed in bed. I'm like, great, it's good. The first day you're like, okay, cool. The second day, ask her the same thing. The third day, and then I'm just like, no, I can't. I personally can't be with someone that doesn't have an ambition or a
That's what I'm
goal or
saying.
some sort of
See?
drive. Because why would you want to be with someone that's like that? Because they're gonna suck you down.
Some people know. No, brother. This is what I'm saying. Check it out. It's not even about sucking you because they're both the same.
Yeah, exactly right.
So they could just stay in the same dormant spot and nobody don't have to do nothing but stay there. As long as their bills are paid and they're cooking and they're eating, it'll go on for years.
So what do you?
It's crazy.
What do you What is important for both of you? This question for both of you. What's important when you in a partner?
Yeah. What's the deal?
What are
deal breakers, right?
Yeah. What's
deal
the
breakers.
Yeah,
we'll
deal
get
breakers.
we'll get to deal breakers, but what are the main qualities first, and then tell us the deal breakers.
No, I like that question.
I'll tell you one thing I really like, but it's nothing to do with the deal breaker. I love tattoos. So anyway,
Tat it up.
But I like it natural too, though.
I'm just saying, I just like tattoos. Anyway, I'm just going off part. But no, I like a girl that, and she doesn't have to do what I do. She doesn't have to like, she doesn't have to like space. She doesn't have to like music. She doesn't have to like any of the things that I like. But as long as she's passionate about something, then that's
Passion's key for you.
Yeah, that's a deal maker for me because it means she has a drive. It means that at the end of the day, when we talk, she's gonna tell me about all the things she did, and I'm gonna get all excited and be like, "Look what I did!" And we're gonna blah. You know, that for me is that's exciting because you're feeding off each other.
Yeah.
But a deal breaker is just someone that just doesn't have that, and it's just like they're just like.
You think that has to do with the music in you? The artist in you?
No, not even because like even.
Because I'm the same way, brother.
I think
I'm like, listen. What do you like to do? Cook? Anything else? Do you paint? Do you play chess? Bicycle maybe? Have you has anybody in this room been in a relationship with somebody who doesn't have absolutely no
Hobby. Drive.
goals? Like they
drive.
just
yeah,
work,
it's just blah.
go to work, come home, and that's it. Let's go show off for the family, and that's it.
Yeah, boring.
Oh, life is good, man. Life is great, man.
So how about you, Diamond? What's
Deal breakers for me,
No,
I
not
don't.
deal breakers. Qualities
got it.
first.
Oh,
Then-
Deal
qualities.
makers. Deal
I
makers.
just-
Well, actually,
love-
I'd like to just make a mention about something because you guys said the same thing.
Oh, okay.
I've actually heard that men generally, the masculine, really in a feminine and their counterpart really likes vitality. Like that's what turns them on.
True.
That it's a sign of health.
Yeah, it's a sign of health, longevity. You
Of
know.
vitality.
That fire,
Vitality and
passion,
health. So
right?
if someone is just doesn't dance, doesn't do anything, doesn't really, what is
Or
is
she's
it-
a fish in bed.
yeah.
They're dormant. They're just like there.
She just doesn't whatever
I do
It's not so much about the dancing, sweetie. It's about laying in bed doing nothing.
I do know one girl.
Literally.
I went out
No,
with
I
my,
had girls great in bed, but after that, there's nothing going on.
Yeah, so even there,
So it
like there
can work
has
both
to
ways.
be more than just sex. Sex
Oh,
can be
for
great.
sure. It has to
Well,
be
that's
more
what
than
we're
just sex.
asking. So
Definitely
what,
has to be more than just sex.
What are like the main qualities?
Well, me,
Stephen Voyce was
me, I'm
saying
about loyalty.
Yeah.
If
I
a
agree
girl's
on
not
that.
loyal in my book, I will cut you off faster than you can say my name.
Yeah.
You know,
It means sexually.
sexually, you know, usually you got to know what you're doing. You got to be sexually active. If you're not sexually active, you know what? That's actually fine. But let's try to find what could possibly make you a little bit more sexually active. This is the thing with guys too. They don't like to talk. They don't know how to communicate with ladies and tell them like, yo, you know, maybe this ain't working. I got an ego, but it's not that big.
Could I just say
I do
something?
not go out there like
wait a
this
minute,
with the
wait a
girls.
minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
And
For
there's been
someone that
plenty
knows you,
situations I can't.
okay, wait a minute. For someone
But I
that
did.
knows you, you
Know
have a
thyself.
big. He has a big heart. He has a big heart. You do have a big heart,
Of course.
but you have a big ego.
Let's
My
be
God.
real.
I'm just saying.
You have
It
a
ain't that big. I seen bigger.
No, I've seen bigger
I've
too.
seen bigger.
Don't make your
The thing is
smile
that your
go.
ego-
But you're
we
saying
talking about
small.
I
ego
only
right
show.
now?
I only show my when it's ready.
Oh
when
my
it's
God,
time.
we
you know?
are.
Are
We
we still
really
are we
are.
still
Come
talking
on,
about
ladies.
egos?
Yes,
or-
I was definitely
Come on,
talking
Andy
Because
knows
I
about
was
what
like,
I'm
what the
talking
hell you
about.
guys talking about?
Andy,
Ego
don't just
code.
go there exposing your business in public.
I heard you. I heard
So you know, there's
everything.
times. There's times when I'm standing up like the gorilla and I'm like, yeah, I did that. I did that. That's right. That's just how it is. But I don't run out there and, you know, every girl I see, I'm like, yeah, you know, like, you know, I wear size 13.
Do you know what?
This is an ego.
No, he just wants to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
I just love the
We
podcast,
want
man. You
this
know, we
show.
going in.
That's right.
We're going in. Boom, boom, boom.
no, but you didn't finish saying what qualities.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like I said,
Loyalty.
loyalty. That's like one of my priorities. You know, women have to be intelligent. I mean, my mother was very intelligent. She told me all the time, go to school, educate. The only thing they can't take away from you is education, you know. So, you know, hey, I got a few things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not as, you know, stupid as I look.
You don't look stupid.
I'm just saying.
Next time,
Don't fall
we should all
into it.
just stay
Don't-
silent.
Yeah, don't
Like,
fall
we
into
should
it,
Be like
y'all.
crickets.
Don't fall
I
into
fell
it.
right into it.
Yeah, he's
myself
good
so
at that. That's what I'm saying. Don't get fooled.
I don't know who you think you
Yeah,
is.
Why y'all think his name's Diamond?
Oh please,
No, I'm just-
I don't have such a big ego. Lord have mercy.
No. No, I'm just me, really, truly.
Just saying.
No, I
No,
get
you-
it.
We get it. We get it. We get
How
it.
often do you see me at parties? If I had a big ego, I'd be stunting hard. I came a long way. I proved a lot of people wrong. You know
What
I mean?
does
I
stone hard mean?
You used
Stunting
to be
hard
at a
means,
lot of
like-
parties, though.
I'll be trying to show. I want you to see me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I'm the you know
The king of the
the light
house.
of the party.
Yeah. And
But
do
I
you feel,
always gotta be there.
is that something you feel you did when you were younger?
Oh yes, he did.
I gotta be honest.
Okay,
have
so
a
you
lot
got
of
it
that.
out of your system.
I'm being honest. I got a lot of that shit out of my
you
system.
did.
They know me. I was out there. I was, you know, club hopping, popping, whatever. You know, smoking, joking,
Moving.
running from the popo. You know, having fun. But I was a kid. I came from a, you know. I came from afar,
So
you
he
know. I
wants to
came
come
from
back
afar,
already.
you know. I was raised, you know. I raised myself, and I learned along the way. But at the end of the day, I love women. Women, I love them
Nice.
more than men. I don't even really, to be honest with you, lady. I don't even really respect men because I never had a father. And if I see that nigga, I probably spit in his fucking face.
Oh, snap.
I swear to you.
Wow.
Women
Okay.
all, throughout my whole life, it's women who taught me a lot. That's why they call me Diamond. By the way.
Oh.
My mother died. My aunt took me, woman.
Yeah, yeah.
My social worker, woman.
Woman.
My teachers,
Woman.
woman. Women all around me. Women, you know, saved me. I guess you can put it like
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
You know,
Wow.
Just keep on
this makes me think of bromance.
But bromances. Because I'm curious about that. Do you believe in bromance? Have you ever experienced a bromance?
Like a friend that you're just like, that's
Yeah,
my boy.
that's like that's your boy. You tell him everything. Like that's your homeboy.
Yeah, man. The guy Sooks, he's like he's a producer that I work a lot with. Like we're pretty much the same person when it comes to music.
Okay.
Like I would die for this dude, man. He's my like we hang out.
He's your homie.
Yeah, he's my homie. Like
I don't think men call it bromance, though.
no, we actually joke about that. We're like, yo, this is a bromance. This is a bromance, isn't it? Like we make, cause like we make emotional music. You know, I'm singing falsettos. I'm just like, man, this is weird, but yeah, it's so
Yeah.
good. You know, like you don't.
So he's more like your partner.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just dug myself to a hole. Not
And you're
that
digging
there's
in for
anything
him,
wong
too.
with that.
No, there isn't.
There isn't.
You just like what you
My
like.
musical
Listen.
partner.
You just
That's
like
it.
what you
Say it,
like.
like-
So you have a bro
Yeah.
and it's like it's deep.
Your
Yeah.
brethren.
It's
like
And do
your
you-
It's
brethren.
my brethren, yeah.
Yeah.
He's,
And do you speak to him like how much do you share amongst?
Yeah, we
Guys,
want to know
yeah,
how much
'cause,
men
we
share
we
with
talk
their-
about a lot. I mean, when
How much do men? Are you
No.
ladies serious?
Wait,
Yeah,
I
like if you
yeah.
have heart to hearts with one, like a male friend of yours.
Every-
Who do
yeah.
You do?
you do?
Not ev- it depends. If I have something between me and my girl that is like, yo, we ain't telling nobody, then I ain't telling nobody.
Yeah.
Not even my whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
But you know, for men, like we said, we don't talk a lot. So when we're like, yo, dad, so yeah, what are you doing tonight? You know, how's your girl, bro? Yeah, was that? Yeah,
But do you have that one
yeah.
friend
That you
that
share
yeah.
I used to,
openly
but not
with.
anymore.
Okay.
I used to. All that went sour, and you know, you tell them secrets and they expose it. You know how it goes. So now I
Okay.
just keep to myself. I rather put in the song and let at least I'm the one in control of letting everybody know what's going on.
Okay.
You know, than you hearing it from somebody.
Yeah, but you
stranger.
still
So at
have
this point
some
in your
people-
life,
But
you're like,
I mean,
you
I
keep
do
your-
have my homie. You know, you just left him. My homie Ronald. We've been friends for how long? You know, I tell him basically everything.
Nice. Well, there
And
you go.
yeah, but
But
I don't know if he
what
tells
we
me
want to
everything.
what we want to know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
what we really want to know is how specific do you get? Because I know that when
For
I talk
in
to my
terms of
girls,
like,
in
okay.
terms of everything, it's like, you know.
give me an
if-
example, please.
Okay, like if I go on a date with my, like, let's say, like, before I was with my man, I go on a date, and it's like, they will know everything that I ate. They'll know what I was wearing. They'll know what he was wearing. They'll know, like, what happened. She did this, she
The
did that.
nuances.
Exactly.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
know?
we talk like
You
that.
got too far.
You know?
Oh
Or,
God, men don't do business like that.
okay. And
How
here's
do you
another
do
thing.
business?
We're like, yo, so you went on a date, brother? Yeah. With who? You know that girl I've been telling you about? Oh yeah, Susie. Yeah, that's right. The one that has the man, or the one that you gotta find a reference to remember that. You know?
Yeah.
Which one? The one with the big ass? You know, the one with the big.
The one
titties?
with
Which
the
one
red
you said?
hair?
The blonde. The blonde, right? Yeah, the blonde. So how did it go, bro? Let's just
I
say
hate that.
My homie's like, let's just say we're going on a second date, or let's just say I went home with her, or let's just say, but we ain't going into like, yeah, bro, I had steak, she had shrimp, and you know the waitress was an asshole, and he overcharged me, and we're like, yeah, so yeah, we keep it real
She was
general.
wearing
man.
a red
We
dress.
keep it real general.
Yeah.
Unless the dude's like, yo, bro, so when you hitting that, then we're like, yeah, well, it looks like.
Yeah, how
But then it's like,
how
yeah, it looks like.
how specific do you guys get when you're talking about sex with other men?
Here's the thing. I gotta be honest with you. My boys will know. I don't have to say shit. They will know. I don't know
Look
if
at
it's.
you.
I don't know if it's my smell. I don't know if it's my walk. I don't know what it is.
It's all of it.
But when I first meet a girl, the dynamics we have into whatever you want to call it, to when we have that
Get down.
Get down.
Get down.
Oh, come
get
on.
Down.
It's
down.
called sex.
sex. Then the dudes like, I don't know. It's like niggas like, yeah, you hit that, eh? We're like,
Yeah.
I don't know, nigga. You don't kiss and tell. So
Okay, so
Oh, so you
there's
don't
no
give
details.
you don't give
say
details.
anything.
why would I give details so my homie can want my girl?
Okay.
Is that the
Men
same
are
for you?
dogs. Men are like, yo, that nigga told me
That
he had
answers
sex with
our
her like
question.
5, 6, 10 times a week, bro. Seriously, she has sex that much? Yo, bro. So yeah, you try to sabotage your shit.
What?
Okay.
These niggas are cold. Not all, but my people.
Okay.
I have had experiences like, yo, bro, that's your girl. That's your girl. What is you soft? Like for example, it's like, that nigga knows on a combat level he could beat you up. So you can't really be with no hot girl, cause that nigga would try to come over and try to punk you off. Like, yo, nigga, you owe me money in front of your girl, and you're like, yo, bro, that was like 5 years ago. What you talking about? Are you for real? And the nigga's serious. Dudes go to war because he has a hot girl, and this like. See all the songs they talking about haters? That's what they talking about because they come in all kind of shapes, forms, sizes. But I do got my homies where, yeah, bro, she's off the chain. Like, bro, off the chain.
Okay, so if you don't care about the girl,
No,
then
I care about the girl.
No, if
It's
you
not
don't
that.
care
It's
about
just,
the girl,
it's just
then
like for me.
It's kind of like
my-
that for chicks too, though. When you don't really care
care-
about the
Yeah.
guy.
That's when you'll give
You're
the
like-
details.
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
Okay.
Oh yeah, if I don't care
But wait,
about her, that's a
Steven.
whole
Yes.
other ballgame.
Steven.
Steven,
Yes.
do you agree?
Right.
Is that your thing? Like, what?
I
How
don't.
do you?
You can't.
Do you go to war
No,
with
but-
niggas?
No, nigga,
Again,
go to
it
world.
just, it just boils
Okay.
down to like
It's
not
real
every
life.
like not
Real.
every single guy is the same. Again, it's like we're not
Exactly.
all the same. You know, like what happens with your friends.
Your
But if I like your
I'm pretty sure
girlfriend,
it's never happened.
it's
I
going
probably will
down.
never bring my a girlfriend to you now.
You've never had, hold on,
I now
brother.
know.
You've never had a girl that another one of your boys liked and tried to do some sexy shit together.
They've tried, but nah.
No, I'm not saying it worked. I'm just saying they tried. They went over
Yeah,
their
yeah,
way
they
to
tried.
try to put
I mean,
put a cork in
I
your
don't want to
shit,
say
dog.
anything,
Like,
so I wouldn't say
it goes
anything.
down.
But I may have had a situation where someone I know is now
Only
with someone
one,
else.
only one.
But like, okay, all I'm gonna say is that okay, not all guys are the same, right? Not all guys are the same. So
Amen to
let's just go
that.
back to the whole
Amen to
emotional
that.
thing, right? The whole
Yeah.
emotional thing. So
Yeah.
I don't, in general, don't really let people in and tell them everything, but I do have some friends that like you tell them everything, and like for example, Sooks is one of those people where like when I went to this wedding in Ottawa this summer, and someone was there, an ex-girlfriend was there,
Someone
was there, an ex-girlfriend was there. It brought up
Emotions.
feelings and emotions that were really bothering me. So
Yeah.
when I had to go record a song with Sooks, like I had to talk about it. So I talked to him about it, and because of that, a song came out of that. So like,
Nice.
so he's the kind of friend that I can kind of tell these things to. Like, and when it comes to sex with girls, I don't really talk to people about who I sleep with and don't sleep with, and
I don't really do that.
yeah, I'm more the kind of person to kind of like when because I was in a situation where I was having sex with girls, and I kind of felt like I was just having sex with girls without to kind of compensate for emotional detachment.
Yeah, you didn't
And
really
I would,
like them?
yeah, not that I didn't like them. It's just
Or
that
you
I
liked
was
them,
just,
but
I
not
was just
like
using.
that?
Yeah, it was just like
He
trying
was
to
using
fill a
them.
void.
Trying
Not
to fill
using
a
them,
void.
but
Yeah,
just
Yes,
to
you
fill a
were.
void.
Keep it real.
No,
Keep
not
it
using
real.
them because it's not like
You're
I was
not
not-
using them. He
Yeah.
wasn't going out of his way to try to use them for sex, but shit happens.
Yeah, and I didn't feel right about that. So I mean I speak to like Sooks about stuff like that. So like.
Okay.
There's different, so yeah, guys can talk to guys about emotional things
Yeah.
without it being. It's not like it has to be limited to girls or whatever. It's just
So even because I know that girls can get fearful in facing love. I know that men can get fearful too. And in the state where I've noticed the pattern, and I think we've talked about this in the past, but the pattern of running away. When you're faced with a lot of emotion at once, and
No
the
comment.
idea of the guy going into his man cave to kind of reconnect with himself, like you need to actually step away and reconnect with yourself.
Actually,
before
So what, you don't do that?
No,
I
not the
no,
way you do.
I do.
But
I do.
Come on,
I
let's
don't
keep
do that
it
the way-
real.
No, wait a
Hold
minute.
on.
Okay, no. Wait a minute. Okay?
Some girls do.
Because I deal with men that happen to love their cave. Okay? And I'll tell you something, brother. We do not have the same cave you have.
Well, that's the thing. Is
But that doesn't
I
mean
feel
it's not a
like
cave.
I have a very
It's hardly
very,
a cave.
very deep
You
cave
have a
myself.
cave, man.
Yeah.
Come
Like
on,
I
man.
hear when people talk about that about men, I'm like
But I got one.
I'm
yeah,
like
exactly.
Exactly.
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
you
that.
do.
No,
You do,
absolutely.
You do, though.
that. Yeah.
You
That's
really
the
do.
thing. But
Oh, I got mine
actually,
out.
I feel like I
No,
dive.
you can't.
I moved away from my
No, but
question.
I mean, literally
Okay.
have an emotional cave.
Hold the question.
My question was, say sometimes when you experience fear when you really like someone, or that's happened in the past.
You
Is
love
that
somebody.
you love that person, but you're not ready to go for it just yet. You're like, shit, I need to get my shit together before I jump into this with this woman. When you get to that point, do you have a confidant, or is that something that you deal on your own, that you deal with on your own?
It depends, right? Like there's no one answer. I mean, when I realized that I was having a hard time finding someone because I was emotionally detached, I just stopped trying to date people and decided to find myself 1st. Period. It didn't have to be with specifically to some girl. It really was I need to find myself first, because again I can't make anyone else happy unless I'm happy.
Yeah.
Right. So do I have a man? I think as an artist, it's hard to ask me that question.
Yeah,
because
it
as
is,
an artist,
because you
we
don't
have
want-
caves.
yeah,
Period.
Yeah.
Like regardless of relationship or whatever, it's just like when we need to detach to focus on our minds, we go to a really dark place.
But you can be in a relationship and do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and going back to what you said about
what I mean?
girls can have man caves. I
Yeah,
have a
they do.
friend, and she's like,
I just call them caves.
yeah, this cave, they're just
Yeah, it's
caves.
not caves.
People
Yeah.
can.
People pull away to figure it
Deep,
out.
Yeah.
deep.
And I think it's really important for people to do that, though.
You have
And
to
I
do
think
that. How could you not
Because
reprogram and
if
reboot?
not, honestly, if
Yeah,
not,
but
if
y'all do it
sometimes
in the
too
weirdest
much
times
information
No.
comes at, like, if too much information comes at
That's
me,
a whole other
I
different
literally either I
Everybody's
spaz.
different.
You what?
I spaz out.
Yeah.
I spaz out. Like, if it's a negative energy, I'll either be negative,
me.
like
Yeah.
aggressive. So I
It was
imagine
in
that
for mine.
guys feel like they can get really aggressive themselves or whatever. Like, they need the time to
Just
step
step
back so that
away.
they don't
No,
do something
sometimes
that...
exactly.
you know?
Sometimes the pressure is just too much, and you know what? I don't want to fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing.
Sometimes I don't. Did you hear that?
I know, but this
We
is
don't
where it's so
Want
different.
to talk about it. You want me to tell you why? Because
Yes,
I'm not
please
even
tell me.
sure in my head what my conclusion is. So you trying to get me to go in my head and talk and express, and then I gotta stick to something I told you. I don't want to fucking go through all that. I just want to keep the shit in my head.
Until
Go,
it's clear.
go for a walk.
Yes!
Go for a
my God.
fucking smoke
You
a
know?
joint. Go get a
Okay.
drink. Go talk to some random stranger.
Yeah.
And let it click, because you know humans have intuition. This shit is all inbred.
Okay,
you know?
okay. I'll
Like you
explain
say,
Yeah,
to
but
you.
you even do that with your friends, because you even do that with me.
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
think the main difference is not about
It's
having
just, I
a
have
cave or
practice,
not.
though.
Is that
I could
women
kinda
resolve
do that right now.
while talking.
Yeah.
Men resolve after having thought about it and coming back.
Yeah.
When I have not even arguments, when I'm trying to get to a conclusion
But
with
not
my
all of them,
boyfriend.
not all of them.
No,
I
no,
gotta talk
it's,
it
it's
out.
never
It's never all of them,
It's
but-
just a generalization.
exactly, yeah.
You know, from my personal experience, like from my relationships with guys over time, the number of times the guys had to be like, I'm going for a walk. And I'm like picking the phone up, calling my girlfriend, because I need to talk about
Yeah.
this shit.
My classic line was, "Could you do me a favor? Could you just please call me a taxi?"
Call me a taxi.
Yeah, because that was my way of telling the girl that I had enough. I wasn't driving at that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, but she could be like yelling and screaming, and I'm like, "Could you please do me a favor to try to calm her down and let her know that it's real?" Because you know what? All this yelling and screaming is actually coming to a conclusion, and I'm fucking leaving because I don't want to be in your presence right now. Because like Andy said, I don't want to say something that I didn't even think of. You know, we fast at the tongue.
It's like
You're
you
talking
say-
about an argument.
I'm not talking
We're
about
not
necessarily
talking
an
about an
argument.
argument. We're just talking when you guys, out of the blue, everything's flowing, and
we just like,
you
yo, like-
retreat to your man cave, or you need your space for
Yeah,
like
that's
a
true.
few days.
I just
and
did that the other day.
And it doesn't mean you don't care about the person. I
And
guess
that's
it's
the
just
worst
reconnecting.
thing. It's just like I said,
reconnecting
you
with
know,
yourself.
sometimes I just jump in my whip. I'm like, yo, I'll be back and going to the store. You know what I mean? I want to just
No,
go
but when
away.
you guys, when you guys
Relax.
2 days.
no, but when you guys
No,
take
I
your
just
space
go
for like a
relax.
couple of days, you do that. You do that.
Do
I
you mean
used
it's like
to.
when things
Yeah.
are working
Yeah,
out
do
just a
that.
little bit too well?
Yeah, sometimes.
Like you're feeling a little
No.
bit too good with somebody? Is that what you mean? Something
Yeah,
like that?
no, but it's like you guys need to like recharge, right? Like you need your own space.
No, it's just everybody needs their space.
definitely-
Humans need
I
their
have that
space.
too, for
Males
sure.
or female. Like I
Yeah.
don't like you know, you can say it's males and we do it and we do, but listen, at the end of the day,
Yeah, we
if
all
you're
do
around
our
somebody and you live with them 24 hours a day and you have kids and you do nothing else but live with them and
That's
have
different,
kids,
though. Yeah.
you know, you need your space.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
if
for
you're in a
sure.
relationship with somebody and you're, you know, you're 25, you're not sure if you want to get married, you know, you're not sure if there's something out there better for you, you're not sure if he's the guy actually for you, then, you know, you're going to think about it, whether he's there or not. It's a process we all have to go through.
I just think we as a species, I think we've somehow confused what we are like instinctually to what we've created as a society. Like the whole idea of man and woman sleeping in the same bed came up, I think it was during the industrial era when they needed to have as many people in cities. They had apartments that were too small, so you had to have man and woman sleeping in the same bed as a convenience.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because man and woman need to sleep in the same bed. And I think stuff like that over time causes issues, because I think
What?
yeah, like man and women sleeping in the same bed. It's not
That's a must.
it's not a love thing. It's a thing that came out of convenience.
Oh, okay.
It's like marriage.
No,
It's like
it-
marriage. Marriage was done
Or
as a
diamond rings.
contract.
Diamond rings have been marketed to us. Like,
Definitely,
it's not
definitely.
It's like
Guaranteed.
anything.
Just
Yeah.
like Christmas
I
and
agree
Halloween.
with you.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
And back in the days, how it used to be is that like it was like men and women. They made groups. The women slept together and the men slept together, and it was like I'm talking about primitive times,
Yeah.
obviously. And yeah, I totally agree. Like the industrialization changed a lot of things about how we live as a society.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
But do you enjoy sleeping with your boyfriend is the real question.
I absolutely do, but because we have a king size bed, because like he's like
All right.
really tall,
But
and when we went
All
when we
right.
went to a chalet and we were sleeping in a queen size bed,
Forget about it.
he was like a tornado, and I had forgotten, and I was just like, babe, can't do this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love you and all, but
And like,
damn.
I'm
See?
like, and I sleep,
There's that
and
space.
I sleep,
You need
you
your
know.
space.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I am, I wake up and I'm just not rested.
Yeah.
I'm cranky.
But see,
I don't
but
have
see, like,
that.
but
Like
study.
I don't
My-
have that.
do
I'm
you
good
mind,
with
like,
it.
My I'm not going to say who it is, but I grew up with like an environment where they both lived in the same room and they were going crazy at each other. They slept in the same bed, and then I also saw an environment where it's the norm for the man and the woman to have a suite together. So the woman has her own room, and and the man has his own room, but they
And
have
meet, like,
arrangements.
in
Yeah.
the middle.
When they want to sleep together, they say, "Can we share the space?" So I don't think.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some
See, I don't
people
li- I
can
don't-
compromise. Some people can actually come to those kind. Like I have somebody like they broke up. They're like no longer together, but they have a house, and you don't know what they do. They rotate with their boyfriends.
What?
Could you do that? I personally couldn't do that. Like
Wait,
you're trying
I
to
don't
tell.
understand.
Hell no.
You have a house with
Something
your
happens to my
boyfriend,
head.
and instead of selling the house, you have a new boyfriend, and you and your boyfriend go and stay there 1 week or 2 weeks, and then the other 2 weeks, your ex-man
Hell
We're
no.
not
and
selling
his
that.
new girlfriend
That ain't
come.
happening.
We're
I have
selling that
people
shit.
right now.
No.
They live
Fuck
like
that
that.
But you know
Yeah,
what? But you know what?
They live like
But
that.
the beauty of what you're saying is
That
that
is
any
awesome.
arrangement,
No,
it
fuck all
works
that.
for them.
Yeah,
If
that's
it
it.
works for
But that's
them,
what I'm
it works for
saying.
them.
But that's awesome. Just the fact that they can even think about that to me
Yeah,
is
fuck
awesome.
that.
Because I'm like, yo, I do.
I mean,
that.
I
We
would
live
do it.
in a
But-
time now where we can do
But you see what I'm saying?
anything we
awesome.
We're very lucky that some of us could really choose to do anything that we want, and that's a very liberating feeling to explore the different aspects of life, like relationships.
Yeah.
And
It's true.
Like we're meant to be individuals, and as much as I love the idea of the relationship, what I don't like about society's idea of the relationship is forcing things that I just feel are not natural. Like, should a man and woman really have to have a shared room? Like, you're putting people together all the time.
You know what? You're absolutely right. They
But-
They do not have to have that. room.
Exactly.
They
But
do
like
not.
we said, whatever
But
works.
people
But-
What do you
love
like
that.
that though?
let me
Yeah,
ask
nothing wrong
you,
with
how
that.
many people married do you know that are sleeping in separate beds?
Well, how many divorce rates are there also? The divorce rate
50%.
keeps
Divorce,
climbing.
divorce,
50% divorce rate keeps
is
climbing.
high as hell. I get it.
Exactly.
I'm not saying you're
Yeah.
supposed to get married. I'm not married.
Okay, I think we have one final
But I
question.
like
Yeah,
sleeping
that's
in the
it.
same
Because
bed.
we have these two wonderful.
I got to hold them, Thanks.
We have these two great men with us tonight.
Thank you, ladies.
And I just want to, just for the people listening, we stretched way past our hour, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But just to wrap it up,
Okay.
we wanted you guys to tell us if there's one piece of advice you could give to younger men, listening or out there, or even talking to your younger self, what piece of advice would you give
Yeah.
as a man?
To the younger men
To
out
the younger
there,
men, yeah.
what advice would you
I
give?
gotta be honest. I wish I listened to my mother more. That's about it, man. Because, everything she told me was absolutely right. All the friends that she looked at and said, that dude, he won't be here in 2 years. She was right. She was like psychic. For real. I'm not even joking.
So listen to
Like,
your
to
mama.
this day, me and my mother, like, that's what I was meant to say. Like, one of the persons that I actually tell a lot of my information to, surprised or not, is my mother. I tell her more than I tell my homies because you know what? I know she ain't ever going to tell anybody. She ain't even gonna talk about it after. Because she ain't got nobody to talk about me with like that. She got other things going on. So like
So that's your advice to younger men, listen to your mom.
yeah, listen to your mother, try to have a relationship with your mother, man. Because I never had that option. I have a stepmother and my mother, as per se, because she raised me. But like, that's a bond that I'm like, whoa, I see it, and I wish I actually had it.
Okay,
So, to all the brothers out there, enjoy it.
cool. How about you?
Yeah.
My advice to younger men?
Or to
Yeah.
your younger self.
Yeah.
If you
Whoever
had your
you feel.
younger self in front of you, what would you tell him?
I would say that it doesn't, like, if you have a dream or a goal or something, no matter how far-fetched and hard it is, to just not give up on it just because it's hard. Before you say no to something, say no because you went and you tried and you may have failed. That's when you can say no, because nothing's worse than the regret of a few years later knowing that you could have at least tried. So
Great
amen to
Thank
that.
you.
Yo,
Yes.
bro.
Yes.
That'll be
Thank
it.
you.
Amen to that.
Thank
Real.
you so much. And I mean,
Guys, thank you so
yeah.
much. Could I just say, I love y'all.
Aw.
Amen, ladies. Thank you for
Diamond,
having
Such
me.
a
Diamond, I'll take this
awesome
opportunity to say thank you for being such an important.
Come
Male
on, don't
figure.
start with this. We on the air.
We are. Don't be too. Stop it.
Yo.
Stop it.
So
Please
we want
be a
to
great
thank
male figure in my life.
Diamond and Steven Voice
Mm-hmm.
for joining us. And yeah, man, that was a super
Awesome.
interesting,
Thank you, guys.
awesome,
enlightening
inspiring.
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to
Thank
meet
you,
the
ladies.
men behind the project. So check
Right?
out that
Yeah,
coalition,
thank you.
y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Check
The
it out.
businesses.
And check
Right.
out Voice's album just dropping.
What's the name of it? What's the name of your album?
It's called Alone in the Crowd, Angels, Demons. Okay. It's 45 tracks.
Damn.
I know.
He's going in.
First album, 45 tracks.
Bro,
Awesome.
45.
45
Yeah,
tracks.
he's
It's
going
got
in.
it.
it's everything I've been through since 2010. It's like a walk through my mind. So if you're up to the challenge,
We have it on
Where can
two.
they
You have
check
it
it
on
out?
2 books or one? One CD?
it's one. It's
You
one.
guys
It's
will
one.
love that.
One.
You guys will love
That's
it.
awesome.
Get it.
Where can we
We
get
will
it?
let you all know when it's out.
Check out on our Facebook page. Keep up with that.
Exactly. There you go. What
Right?
she said. What she said.
Right?
iTunes, Spotify.
Exactly.
And if you
Amazon,
want
Xbox
any
Music.
The Coalition T-shirts, shirts,
Coalition. Holler at us.
That's it.
it'll all be on our page
We'll
for
send you
both
some
of them.
info.
Oh yeah.
Help them
yeah.
find the page, girl.
So facebook.com/LTAI podcast. You can find us on our website, www.letstalkaboutitpodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram @TalkTalkPost. Follow us on Twitter @TalkingAboutIt. And make sure to tune in for the next episode of Let's Talk About It. That's right.